This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
More college hoops here. Tonight's overall card, and a look at a couple of futures outright winners for conference tournaments as Tyler Shoemaker joins us here on the Progressive Guest Line, the creator of the T-Shoe Index, and his numbers go up every single day on the website here at vsin.com. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Tyler, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Good to be here.
Yep. Let's start with this. Big one tonight in the SEC, I think, for Georgia. Paul, you said last segment, Lenardi has him now where? First four buys?
Yep.
So, okay, bubble team, though, still with Georgia. Have to have these games down the stretch. Playing a South Carolina team that, just absolutely massacred Arkansas over the weekend. Now, this number has been all around the money line today at different books, but what do you make of this matchup here?
Yeah, so I made this Georgia minus 3.5. So I took it early at Georgia +1. I would probably play it through minus 1.5. Above that would be a little dicey, but I'd probably play it to minus 1.5.
Okay, so all the way, your power ratings here on this game, they have the Bulldogs at 3.5-point favors.
Yep.
Okay, and that's up at vsin.com. New Hampshire, you're involved in their game tonight?
Yeah, like we were saying before we got on here. I dove in the trash a little bit today. I'm taking New Hampshire plus 18.5. I project that at just 15.5, so I'll take the 3 points of value here with New Hampshire.
All right, they're playing Bryant, and how about a total? Georgetown and Villanova.
Yeah, I projected this total at 139.5, so I jumped on it under 142.5. I'd probably play it to about 141.5.
Okay, currently sitting at circa now, the move here down to 142.5, the way it looks. In terms of outrights that you have for these conference tournaments, when you run your numbers, you run your projections, and you compare them obviously to odds that are available at various sports books here, what jumps off the page?
Yeah, so I used DraftKings as kind of my source of truth here on these odds, but in the Big South, High Point is a heavy favorite, and rightfully so. I've got them about 5.5 points above everybody else in that conference. However, odds makers have reflected that. Winthrop at plus 900, I think, is an interesting look. That's the fourth best odds in the conference, but I've got them power rated second in the conference. So I think there's some pretty good value there on Winthrop. If you don't think High Point's going to run the table there, that would be the first one I would go with.
Okay, and 9-1, pretty solid number overall. Where do you have them power rated in that conference?
Second.
Second best, you said?
Yep.
Okay, that's the big.
Yeah, so I've got them about 5.5 points below High Point. But obviously it's March conference tournament, and anything can happen. High Point definitely is rightfully the favorite, but I do think Winthrop is worth a look there at 9-1.
What else do you like in terms of futures and all these? There's 12 conferences up with the odds now.
Yeah, I went to the OVC here.
Okay.
I like Little Rock at plus 500. Again, that's the fourth best odds in the conference. And again, I've got them power rated second in the conference behind Southeast Missouri State. And that conference race in terms of my power ratings is much tighter. I've only got Little Rock about a point behind Southeast Missouri State. So I'll take 5-1 there with Little Rock.
And then there was one other conference, I think, too, right? So you have 3 outrights overall that you like?
Yeah, in the Summit League, South Dakota State has the third best odds at plus 300. So not as much of a long shot here as the other two, but plus 300, the third shortest odds in the conference. But I've got them power rated as the best team in the conference. So I'll definitely take 3-1 on the team that I have as the best team in the conference.
Where do you have Omaha, who won the damn league? It's at the fourth. They have the fourth best odds, or the 1 seed.
I've got them fourth.
Wow,
exactly.
You do, huh?
Okay, That's wild, because if the Tommies win it, they go as well. Do you have any futures in terms of the actual tournament, and if you want to jump in on anything at this point?
I do not yet. I will say, I'll just give you my top 5 power ratings. So, you can do with that what you will. I've got Duke number 1 by about 2 points, followed by Auburn, Houston, Florida, and Tennessee. Round out my top 5 in the power ratings right now. So, we'll see kind of how it shakes out after the rest of the conference tournaments next week.
Yep.
As we head into Selection Sunday, I'll probably get involved at that point. But right now, I don't have anything in the portfolio.
Sure. Where are you at with Texas Tech? Are they top 10?
Texas Tech 7. That's actually, number 7.
Okay.
That's actually a team, as I was kind of eyeballing some of these, potential long shots. That's one that I would probably have my eye on.
So you made a good point. You want to wait till the brackets come out. I'm not going to kill you for that. That makes a lot of sense. If this is their region, if you can get, and they're 6-7-1 to make the Final Four. If they're in the West, and Tennessee's the 1, Michigan State's the 2, Michigan's the 4, and Marquette is the 6, don't you think that's a decent, doable path for Texas Tech?
Absolutely. I've got Texas Tech above all those teams except Tennessee, and I've only got Tennessee about a point better than them. So I think that's a great point.
Wow. And that's what Lenardi has right now?
That's what he has right now.
In the region?
I mean, that jumped off the page when I looked at that today.
And where do you have Michigan State right now in your power ratings, Tyler?
Number 12. They would be about a 2-point underdog by my numbers to Texas Tech.
Okay. And another team I'm curious about, too. They're in action tonight. They're catching a huge number against Iowa State. Where does BYU fall?
BYU's up there as well. They're number 16, power rating of about 13 points, which is about 9 points below number 1 Duke.
Okay. Strong. And then here's one for you, too. Gonzaga, because this back and forth that we've had with Richie Baccellieri, right? What did he say he would make St. Mary's on a neutral?
6.
Against Auburn, right? He would make Auburn only a 6-point favorite over St. Mary's, and yet Gonzaga was just laying almost that same number to St. Mary's the last time they played when they were at home. Where do you have Gonzaga compared to a team like Houston, Auburn, maybe like a Florida or a Duke?
Yeah, I've got Gonzaga number 6. They're right outside the top 5. They're separated by with Tennessee by just a 1/10 of a point. So basically dead even with Tennessee in my numbers. So obviously the weaker schedule, but that's accounted for in my numbers. I would make them, if they were playing Auburn, I would make Auburn about a 4-point favorite against Gonzaga.
Oh, so think about that. There's a chance here where you're going to get that game, right, guys, where Gonzaga, if they fall on the 8-9 line and they win their first game, they're going to be getting like 3-4 points against all those number 1 seeds. Like, that's it. Like, it's not going to be much bigger than that.
Yeah, that would be a team, if I'm a fan of one of the 1 seeds, that is a team I would not want to have to play in the second round. That's a very tough draw for one of those teams.
What about UConn then?
UConn. Oh, I got to scroll down a little bit to find UConn. They're number 26. Number 26.
Okay. All right. You can follow Tyler on X. He's at TShoeIndex, and his numbers go up at vsin.com every single day. It's been great to look at and monitor here now that we're in March. In the last previous weeks as well. Tyler, thanks for the time today. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be good. He was on the Progressive guest line.
Well, the number's shorter if it's Houston. That'd be the potential matchup in the second round.
What are you willing to lay there? So
up to 5 with Houston? Houston against Gonzaga?
Yeah. Duke opens, let's say, 4.5 against Gonzaga, 5. You betting Duke?
Yes. What's Duke's? Yeah. And probably 8 against UConn.
I might not even lay the points. I might just do money line in a spot like that.
Mm-hmm.
If one of these teams, if it's like 3, if it's Houston, it's 3.
Zaga's got to get off this 8-9 line too.
Yes, they do.
And they're $1.45 to win the tournament out here. And, a win over St. Mary's would do that.
That's another thing. So again, every person that you talk to here is going to have Gonzaga. Tyler's told you the number 6 in his power ratings. So it's numbers based, right? It's nothing like watching games or just like it's not the eyeball test. Now, that said, if they're on the 8-9 line, BYU's an 8-9 team as well, currently seated, according to Lenardi and some others who do this as well, and he's got them 16th in the country.
Yeah.
And their resume is going to look good.
There's going to be a lot of issues come Selection Sunday, rest assured. They don't know what they're doing with seeding. Where you at with Memphis? 14-2 in league. Laying a bunch on the road tonight. Could be a 7 seed, could be a 6 seed. That's another team to throw into the mix, too.
I respect the daylights out of Nick Bogdanovich. So when he was on the show yesterday and he said Memphis is live to I think he pretty much said to win the whole thing, or they can do a lot of damage. Okay, I'm in.
Yep.
I'm listening then. You got my attention.
Good win the other day at UAB. Texas in action tonight. 5-11 in SEC play.
Oh, they have to have it.
They are first 4 out, along with Oklahoma, Xavier, and North Carolina.
And they're catching some serious points tonight, too.
Yep.
They're on the road at Mississippi State.
How do you sell that on the selection committee? Well, I know they're 5-11 in league, but got a couple good wins. But
they'll say best conference we've ever had.
Oh, man.
That's what they'll say.
As opposed to the teams that have 29, 30 wins, too. Yeah.
Oh, let me give you another one, too, that you're going to hear. Like, if they keep winning games, and let's say they would play Duke in the ACC title game somehow, watch what North Carolina's seed might turn into. And I'm looking at Bart Torvik again, his numbers. I want to get these in front of me here.
Yeah, they play Saturday.
Yes.
See what that number is.
Since February 10th, they are the 4th highest rated team in the country at Bart Torvik. 4th highest ranked team in the entire country per his numbers. So they're favored tonight by 7.5 points against Vodtech. 8 now.
Would have been playing.
No,
that's the other thing.
The ACC is basically, since they got their doors blown off against Clemson, they've been hot. But if they get Duke this weekend, and if that's competitive or they happen to win and then they would meet Duke again in the ACC title game, this will go from a fringe tournament team to like a 5 seed.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to break your TV at home.
Yeah. Syracuse, NC State, Virginia, Florida State, Miami. Okay. I mean, you're 1-10 against Quad 1 teams. I mean, it's just, and Duke ran them out the first meeting. Fair point, though. If they're able to beat Duke and they get hot in the ACC tournament, you're right.
Win Some, Lose Some is up next, and we have Top 5 Tuesday. How about this? You can chime in here. Top 5 teams that will not win a title the rest of our lives.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. We're live downtown Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy hour. Tonight's loaded NBA card with some player props. Bad situational spot for a couple of teams in action tonight. And, of course, a monster college hoops card tonight as well with 3 more conference tournaments underway. Here we look at the weekly card that we have on the PGA Tour. It's the Arnold Palmer Invitational. As Jeff Seeley joins the program now, follow him on X at Cupmaker Jeff. And the podcast is called the Cupmaker Podcast as well. This week, Wes Reynolds is going to be on the pod from right here at VSiN. Jeff, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm great, guys. This is going to be a fun tournament. After a near miss with Henley last weekend, we'll see how he does this weekend.
Sure. And I like him again this weekend, but we'll get into that coming up here in a minute. Now, this course, of course, is it's very famous for all the water around it. 9 different holes. Water will come into play. And based on that, how much do you think course form means here this week compared to like maybe some of the other stops that are on the tour on a weekly basis?
Yeah, no, there's no question. And guys, I think a lot of courses where you play the same course every year, whether it's Sawgrass, whether it's, here at Bay Hill at the Arnold Palmer, whether it's Augusta, I think course history matters. And the thing you kind of have to tease out is the guy who played that event the last 3 times or whatever, the same golfer that he is today. And an extreme example of that I would use this week, a guy who I haven't bet, which means he will for sure win, is Sepp Straka. Sepp Straka is in terrific form right now, but his course form here is terrible, which is the only reason I didn't bet him. But again, you can make the argument that he's not the same golfer that he was the last several times he's played here. So the number one thing I looked at this week was course form. But again, it's important to not make that your only factor because you want to look at certainly some current form and understand, are they the same guy or have they improved since that time?
Top of the board, was there someone with a price you couldn't believe when you bet it?
Yeah, on Sunday night, I saw the DraftKings pricing was out, and I got Aubert at 18-1. I don't think that anybody who watches golf very closely right now could make a case for anyone other than potentially Rory to be the number 2 player in the world, and I think Aubert is playing better golf than Rory right now. I mean, he truly looks like a generational talent. I'd make Rory number 3, Bryson, frankly, number 4, and a healthy Xander at number 5. But then I think we have a decent gap. Xander's not fully healthy. Bryson's on live. So I'm thrilled to get the number 2 player at this Scotty inflated price, if you will. Now it's down to 16 a lot of places. I still like it at 16. He's too good, and the price is too good. Again, I think I would still play better at 16. I love Aubert this week.
You have some incredible numbers here on Patrick Cantlay. You're betting him this week. Tell us how you're going to bet him, outrights and maybe ladder bets as well. But also, it's been a long time since this dude has won.
Yeah, so again, you guys, I rarely talk about Patrick Cantlay on this show, and for good reason. It has been 1,370 days since he won a full field PGA Tour event. He did win a BMW, which was one of the playoffs, which is a limited field, and he won the Zurich with Xander. But he hasn't won a full field event on his own since he won the Memorial in June of 2021. So the logical play for me, which is the way I bet Cantlay, is on an each-way bet, paying the top 8 places. If you don't have each-way markets, then certainly look at him top 10 to go along with any outright play you would make here. But after a T15 at the Century, a top 5 at the Amex, and a top 5 at the Genesis, we finally find Cantlay in some really good form coming into an event that he finished T4 at in 2023. So he's got the good course history. He's got the good recent forms. And he actually lost strokes putting that week and gained 10 strokes tee to green. So again, the key is going to be, I think, with him, if he's going to be, he can putt this week. His putting's been very hot and cold lately, ranging from 6 strokes he gained at Genesis to losing over 3 at Pebble. If the putter cooperates and the tee to green is like it was in 23, Cantlay is very live this week, so I think he could find himself in the mix. But yeah, it's been a long time for him since he's been in the winner circle in a full event.
All right, follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Jeff Seeley, on X at Cupmaker Jeff, and we're talking about this week's stop on the PGA Tour. Tell us why Russell Henley makes sense to you again this week and how you're betting him.
Yeah, so he opened at 55 to 1, which is where I bet him. I still like him at 45 now. He was T4 here last year and T13 in 22. He's played this event 8 times. His current form is excellent as well, having finished top 10 in 3 of his last 4 events. You have to find fairways here, as the rough is going to be brutal. Henley ranks 4th in good drive percentage. When he misses the green, he can get up and down, as he ranks 7 in the field and scrambling from the rough. He's in the top 3rd of the field in Bermuda putting. There's just a ton to like about Henley this week again. Last week, guys, I said on the show, Henley top 20 at plus 110 was my favorite bet. You can get him plus 120 this week, top 20. It's my favorite bet again. I mentioned I bet him 55 to 1 early. I still like 45, but definitely shop around. But again, first bet you should click this week is Russell Henley top 20. Love that play.
How about Lowry?
Another guy who's Yeah, Lowry's in a similar range. He's 55 to 1. So he lives in Florida now and ranks 3rd in the field in total strokes gained in Florida courses. So again, familiar with the agronomy, the green, so on. He's just very comfortable in Florida courses. And it comes to fruition when he gained 3rd in this event last year after not playing particularly well in prior years. So, but guys, here's a really fascinating stat. When you go back to last year and look across the tour, so including the DP World Tour / European Tour, Shane Lowry has finished 13th or better in 10 of his last 12 events.
Wow.
And how about this? He has only lost strokes tee to green in 1 of his last 31 tournaments. So when he putts well, he's like a top 20 lock and a top 10 threat. So I'm playing Lowry top 20 this week. I'm playing him in the each-way markets top 8. If you can't find them again, I play him top 10 and play him top 5. Shane Lowry's very, very live this week. A guy I expect to have success tee to green again. It's just going to come down to putting.
And a bomb with the potential first-round leader market?
Yeah, guys, I mean, how often do you see a talent like Sahith Theegala at 90 to 1? He opened at 100 to 1 at DraftKings. He was T6 here last year. I mean, his form to start 2025 wasn't good, which is why we have this inflated price, but it has improved lately. Finished T17 at Genesis. The wind doesn't look too bad according to the forecast, and if the scoring does go low, we know this is a guy who can pile up birdies. He comes in top 10 in the field in birdie percentage. So I don't know that he's going to win this week, but I think he's a very, very interesting first-round leader play at 60 to 1 and a great top 10 play at plus 550. Throw a little pizza money on the 90 to 1 outright. It could be a big week for Theegala.
Where do you think, let's pretend for a second that you nail this with Aubert this week and he wins it. Where do you think his number for the Masters will go?
10 to 12. I think he ultimately.
Jeff,
I think he should be the number.
I think it might go down to like 8 to 1 if he wins this week.
I mean, he should be the number 2 on the board behind Scotty. And guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't think the margin between if Scotty's playing his best and Aubert's playing his best, I don't know that the margin there isn't like razor thin. Like the one weakness both of them have is putting, right? Their putting can get wonky sometimes. We've seen that with both of those guys. But if you just look at ball striking, it's hard to look at Aubert. If you watch golf, and I know you guys do, he's just phenomenal. And you just watch him play, and the gap is not wide. The stats all bear it out, but just the eye test alone, you're like, this guy is a freak of nature. He's going to be special for a long, long time to come, barring any injury. I think the gap you're right. I think if he wins this week, we could see. And gosh, if it's single digits, I'm going to be glad I got all the Aubert tickets I have. I am completely all in on him for the Masters. I'm so loaded to him. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to be a big Aubert fan. Come Masters time for sure.
Yeah, and don't laugh at this, but to that point of how numbers will adjust based on current form going into the Masters, Jordan Spieth has actually been playing pretty well. He did again this past weekend. When I was looking around, and he's got really strong form at the Masters, and that course, it matters there more than anywhere else. He was the best number I could find on Spieth anywhere this last weekend was 37-1.
Well, same thing with Koepka. Look at Koepka, right? I mean, his form, he's been playing terrible. And I think what's Koepka, like 25 or so? I mean, I think he'll drift out as the master markets get going more, during that week. But I mean, he's same thing. I mean, he's not playing well at all, but his price is ridiculously low. He should be 40, 50 in the Masters for sure.
You can follow Jeff on X. He's at Cupmaker Jeff. The podcast is called the Cupmaker Podcast. This week, Wes Reynolds from VSiN is his guest. That'll be a great conversation. Good luck this week, pal. We appreciate the time.
Thanks, fellas. Talk soon.
There you go. And he was on the Progressive Guest Line.
Biggest betting month of the year is here. Championship week tipping off. NBA, NHL playoffs right around the corner. Got the Players' Championship next week. Opening day's coming. Draft, free agency, $9.99. Get in now. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The daily email from Bill 80 and the betting splits and the March Mania betting guide with the MLB betting guide. Come on, $9.99, vsin.com/subscribe. What a steal, vsin.com/subscribe.
All right, this tournament is the real deal. It's a loaded field. Next week, that's the Players.
Yeah, tough timing.
Oh my God! So that drops every year on Championship week. Holy hell! Okay, up next, the NBA card. Some really bad schedule spots for multiple teams in the league. We'll tell you who they are next here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Strong college basketball card tonight. Loaded schedule. 3 conferences underway as well. Their tournaments. And professional sports bettor Paul Stone joins the program now to discuss the card. He's off to a super solid start in the Friday night college basketball contest here at Circa and on VSiN. 11-4 overall, 3-0 with his best bets. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. Congrats on the good start, Paul.
Well, I tell you, I guess we're 15 selections into a 50 selection contest, so I'd rather be near the top of the list than near the bottom. But we got a long way to go, and I was telling you guys off air that of the 15 contestants on our submitted selections so far, we've hit a little over 56% against the spread. So the guys are really doing well in the contest, and somebody's going to sustain that type of effort. So just pointing that out to say you're going to have to probably hit 65% or better to win this contest.
Yeah, well said. So we're kind of butting heads on this game tonight. The number has since moved in your favor. I took a little Arkansas plus 7.5 today. You like the other side. You like Vandy. Why do you like them tonight?
You know, oftentimes in betting college basketball or any sport for that matter, we don't so much bet on a team as we bet against the other team.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm doing with Arkansas tonight. And it's based on injuries. I mean, the Commodores, first of all, Vanderbilt, they play really, really well at Memorial Gymnasium there in Nashville, 14-2 on the season, covered 5 of the last 6 home games there, defeated the likes of Missouri, Mississippi, Texas, Kentucky, and Tennessee during that stretch. So really playing well at home. But Arkansas, they're now without their top 2 scorers, Boogie Fland and Adu Thero, Both those guys average over 15 points a game. Flan's been out since late January, had thumb surgery in late January, likely out for the year. Thero's going to miss his third straight game tonight against Vanderbilt. He's also their leading rebounder. So you're talking about a tough assignment going into Vanderbilt with your full complement of players. Now they're missing their two top players trying to beat the Commodores. They have a thin bench to begin with. Now it's got thinner. They're basically down to a 7-man rotation is Arkansas. They did beat rival Texas 86-81 in Fayetteville, their first game without those two top players this past week. But they hit 23 of 31 free throws in that game, hit 9 of 17 three-pointers. I don't think either one of those things is going to happen tonight in Nashville. I like Vanderbilt to win this game by double digits.
You are laying the wood tonight. Interesting. This team with Texas, how about Miss State laying a bunch at home? You fading the Longhorns?
Yeah, much like the play that I just described, this is more a play against Texas than a play on Mississippi State. Rodney Terry and the Longhorns just seem to be in a end-of-season free fall, if you will. They've lost 6 of their last 7 games. 4 of those losses have come as the betting favorites, so they've been getting defeated, win favored. 7 straight non-covers for Texas, rather. The only cover during this span, a victory over a depleted Kentucky squad without its 2 top players, including point guard Lamont Butler. So it's just tough times, there for Texas. You have to wonder, just how much gas does a floundering Texas team have left in its tank? It's a shame. This is kind of a side note. Texas freshman Trey Johnson averages over 20 points a game, one of the top scorers in the nation. It's going to be a shame that the nation is likely not going to see him in the NCAA tournament. I like Mississippi State -7 tonight over the Longhorns in Starkville.
Okay.
He is so good, and he almost single-handedly won the game against Arkansas when they played.
39 points.
Yeah.
I mean, that was an incredible effort, and he just shoots the ball from everywhere. He gets it off quick. Doesn't even have to hardly set his feet. I mean, he's just a one-man wrecking crew. It's just amazing that with that type of centerpiece that the Longhorns hadn't had success, even in a conference as tough as the Southeastern Conference.
I think as bettors, and this goes for the committee, I think a big emphasis needs to be placed on what you're doing now or in the last month. Like November's a long time ago. And I mentioned this earlier, and I'm glad you're on Utah. I don't know why West Virginia's in. They're 4-8 in their last 12, just got blasted at Provo, and those 4 wins, Cincy, TCU, and Utah. But now they're at Utah, catching 3.5, and Utah just fired their coach. What do you think here? Are you also similar, going to fade the Mountaineers?
Yes, I am. I mean, we talk about often, in especially college basketball, that home-road dichotomy, and some teams are just a lot better on their home floor. And Utah is certainly one of those teams. They're 15-3 at the Huntsman Center this season. Their only losses this season at home to St. Mary's, Texas Tech, and Baylor. So 3 pretty good basketball teams there. They've actually covered, has Utah, 7 of their last 8 home games. West Virginia won the first meeting between these schools, won that game back on February 8th, 72-61 as a 7-point favorite. In that game, Utah only hit 6 of 23 from the three-point territory. They're not a great three-point shooting team, but Utah's a better three-point shooting team at home, as you might suspect. Hit almost 36% from beyond the arc there in Salt Lake. So I think they're going to shoot that three-pointer a little bit better. Playing well at home. I like Utah. It's gone up to 4. You can still maybe find some 3.5, but I like the favored Utes over West Virginia tonight.
All right, very good. Follow the money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, professional sports bettor Paul Stone. You can follow him on X and listen to his podcast. He's at Paul Stone Sports, and that's the name of his podcast as well. He's on the Progressive Guest Line. I know Paulie likes BYU tonight. This number's kind of been all over the map as well. Touched 10 today, came back a little bit on the Cougars. What'd you do with BYU playing at Iowa State?
Yeah, I tell you, I think a lot of people's first inclination is going to be to take BYU because that's a big number, and BYU's been playing really well, no question about it. But I don't think there's, and I say this, I know it's a broad statement, but I'll stand by it. I don't think there's a more underrated place, home court advantage in college basketball than Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. The Cyclones are a different team there. They've gotten their two best players arguably back in Keyshawn Gilbert and Curtis Jones. Those guys are getting work back into the rotation. It got up to 9.5 and 10, like you said, and I was going to lay off, but then we saw some resistance. Now down to 9, pretty much market wide. Last time I checked, I like Iowa State minus 9, little pizza bet over BYU tonight.
Okay, and then pizza bet as well. Auburn takes on Texas A&M. They were so good against Kentucky again. They seem to be a little spot-proof. A&M is struggling here, and what did you land on here between these two teams?
Well, the line's down to 4. I think yesterday on the overnight line, some of the early market-making books opened this game at 6. Yep. So it's pretty well been one-way action on the Aggies. But I look at this Auburn team. They've already clinched the Southeastern Conference championship, regular season championship. Their point guard, Denver Jones, we found out last night when the SEC availability report came out, he's likely not going to play, in my opinion. So they're going to be without their point guard. They need to get healthy, and they don't really even need to get healthy for the SEC tournament. They're going to be a 1 seed regardless of what happens there. They need to get healthy for the NCAA tournament. They've got bigger fish to fry. A&M, on the other hand, they've lost 4 games in a row. So they're really struggling right now. But the Aggies are still a good basketball team. They're tough at Reed Arena. They've got a good player in Wade Taylor IV. I like A&M plus 4 here, and I think A&M might win this game outright.
Wow. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. Buc-ee's originated in Texas. From the owner was an Aggie. Charles Barkley was on the broadcast last week, said, I never go in. There's always 100 people outside, inside. What's your grade on Buc-ee's?
It's incredible, and I'm probably not the best representative to be talking about Buc-ee's because for the first time, it's kind of a lot of Buc-ee's here in the state of Texas where I'm from. And like you mentioned, the founder is from the state of Texas. But the first time I went to Buc-ee's was the night or day of the Ohio State-Texas semifinal game in Arlington, traveling from my home in East Texas with some friends. He's a big Buc-ee's guy. So we not only stopped at Buc-ee's before the game, we stopped at Buc-ee's about midnight after the game. So those are my only 2 trips. But, man, they got food bars. They got barbecue. I mean, they've got everything. I mean, I didn't stay in the store that long. But, man, you name it, they have got it. The restrooms are exceptionally clean. It's a pristine. I mean, a lot of people, that matters where you stop. But it just, to me, that kind of shows the attention to detail. I mean, they leave no stone unturned, no pun intended there. But, man, it's a neat place. If you ever get a chance to go to a Buc-ee's, give it a go.
Great job. Well, that's one of the reasons you're stopping, right? Gas, food, and you got to, do your business. So
I bet you they had 200 gas pumps there. I mean, there was gas pumps forever. It's an incredible place for sure.
Paulie's next vacation spot, Buc-ee's. Coming soon, by the way, outside of Phoenix.
Get out.
That's what people were saying, yeah.
All right.
There you go. Make the day drive, guys. Go to a gas station. Paul, you're the best. Thank you. Good luck tonight, okay?
Hey, same to you guys. Appreciate you having me on, and good luck the rest of the week.
Yeah, and good luck this weekend, too, in the contest as well.
Yep, and get all those picks, too, Saturday morning on the show, and Bill 80 will send it out as well. Another reason to subscribe, $9.99. Get in. MLB betting guide, every pick, every host, every guest. The guys are on fire with the college basketball contest. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get the betting guide, team previews, Cy Young MVP, opening day March 17th, Dodgers Cubs. VSiN.com/subscribe.
We will update some of the games in action right now in college basketball and tell you what we're betting on tonight's card next in Pocket Plays on VSiN.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right, apologies. No good yesterday. Nothing in the Sharks-Leafs game. And we missed it by 30 seconds in the Blackhawks game. Should have gone first period over. Did goal in first 10. First period went over. But no dice there. All right, eclectic mix today. Pending, San Diego State, $1.40 on the money line tonight here in Las Vegas. They own UNLV. They've owned them for years. It's a great program. And they always win games like this. Again, not much of the handicap in the angle. I respect the hell out of this program, and they always get it done here in Las Vegas, and the number's too short tonight for the Aztecs, who are currently a 10 seed, according to Joe Lunardi. Plus UNLV off a nice win over their rival. Texas Tech to make the Final Four, 6-1. Would love their path if that's the bracket in the West. Cavs, Bulls over. I'm not asking for much. I don't see why the Cavs can't put up $140 tonight on the Bulls. Chicago, number 3 in pace. They are horrendous defensively. The Cavs have won 10 in a row. And after their win the other night, this is the most efficient team in NBA history. 122.3 points per 100 possessions, now ahead of the Celtics, who set the record last year. The most efficient team in NBA history. Incredible. And they should get whatever they want tonight against the Bulls. Horrible spot for the Islanders. Off a back-to-back, the Jets, best team in the league, have been off since Saturday. Jets to win in regulation tonight as well. Let's see. Good luck.
The Cavaliers have played the Bulls so far twice this season. The first time they were laying 8.5, total was 237. They won 119 to 113. The last time they played, they were laying 10, total was 238.5. They won 144 to 126.
I'm expecting that tonight.
Absolutely smoked them and did whatever they wanted in that game offensively.
They should get the way they're humming on offense. Yes.
That said, Celtics 4-2.
Why is Gilbert Arenas on?
If Boston's healthy.
Oh, God. Yeah. Gilbert Arenas.
All right, so last night actually went pretty well. Buddy Hield, 3+ made threes, 2-1. That was a winner. And I did not have this in pocket, but I said at the end of the show, I laddered him to make 4, which was plus 450, and I laddered him to make 5, which was 10-1, and they all hit. He hit 5 threes last night. That was good. The loser was Ovechkin, anytime goal. They scored 5 goals. He had a ton of shots on goal again. He wasn't one of them. If you would have told me that he was going to take 5 or 6 shots on goal and they were going to score 5 goals, I would have doubled my bet easily. Plus 115, no good on him. I'll have to come back and bet him in the next game for more money. Mm-hmm. On to tonight's action.
Oh!
I'm on Green Bay.
The Gottliebs.
That game starting in about 12 minutes. Disastrous season. But the last 5 to 6 games, they have played much better basketball.
They're showing heart.
I just played Oakland. They lost in overtime. Oakland is much the best here because Green Bay is one of the worst teams in college basketball. But plus the 10, being feisty now for like 2 weeks, I'll take them. I did a moneyline parlay tonight. Opposite side here, Paul Stone, but Auburn and San Diego State, moneyline parlay plus 164. That can be dangerous because they're both road teams. But I love what the number 1 team in the country has been about the entire year.
Right.
And I'm with you. We've seen this movie over and over and over again, San Diego State playing against UNLV.
Yep.
And so I
live and breathe.
I have to trust the Aztecs just to win the game tonight. I took Arkansas plus 7.5, and this game's at halftime, but I mentioned this multiple times throughout the show. I have Georgia plus 1.5, and they lead 40-29. They are currently laying 8.5 points. Live betting. I'm not going to touch it.
Wouldn't you bring that up to your team if you're Bruce Pearl that you can set the record for most quad 1 wins before the tournament? I mean, that's something why not? If you're on this mission, I think that's
I think they've been playing. Well, they're obviously extremely talented.
Yeah.
But it's like they have a chip on their shoulder after getting bounced last year in the first round.
Mm-hmm. VSiN fans, plan your Vegas getaway. Derek Stevens giving you 15% off at 3 great properties: Circa, the D, Golden Gate. Whether you're hanging by the pool or at the book, the tables, save big promo code VSiN15. Book your stay now, circalasvegas.com. Use VSiN15 to get 15% off. circalasvegas.com. Your Vegas adventure starts here. Derek will be in next week, unable to come in today, but I can't wait to ask him what's it like to have the movie win for Best Picture, the Oscar, and Circus featured in that as well with... what's it called? Honora? Whatever?
Honora, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we'll be looking forward to that. And Private Plane Wayne coming in to tell the blackjack story. Well, you never know what you're going to walk into here. Incredible. I needed Shoemaker to give a little bit more and Ozzy to give less.
That sounds about accurate.
How it turned out.
I don't.
With the guess,
well,
right?
It didn't know where it was going to go there.
No.
Did not see that one coming, but it did, and we move on. Hopefully Ozzy does as well. Other spots that we have in the NBA tonight, the Hawks have had like the Bucks number now.
Yeah.
And this is not just this year, because Trae Young has phenomenal numbers against this team. He eats that defense alive. Oh, look at this now. A 2-point move throughout the show. Bucks were as high as 7 earlier on. Now it's down to 5. Total is 243.5. And the Hawks are 2-1 outright against the Bucks so far in the season. And in those 3 games, not once has a game come close to going over the total. I'm not telling you to run out and bet the under in this game. We just did in pocket. I don't have it. Because, I mean, we talked about this on the show yesterday. The Grizzlies-Hawks total was 254 at the beginning of the show. Went down to like 251. And it flew over. It's like 254 is one of the highest totals you're going to see in modern. But that's how Atlanta plays. They're number 1 in pace going back the last 10 games. And throughout the course of the season, they're number 2. They just play in these helter-skelter games where each team could have, over 100 shots in regulation, no problem.
Cat's out. Curry's going through warm-ups right now with the ankle. He looks okay. Robinson's on a minutes restriction. Reeves is out for the Lakers. Giddey and Ball are out for the Bulls.
Oh, boy.
What's that number? Is that 14 now? What's that number up to? Cavs on the road. Mamma mia. DiVincenzo.
But they're also the best road team in basketball, are they not?
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about it. I'm just saying the Cavs. Yeah, the Cavs is going to get out of control.
Yeah.
That game. But
I got to double check that here.
How about the Sixers? Look what the T-Wolves are laying tonight. No Maxey. Paul George questionable. I think Grimes is out. Obviously Embiid shut down. Oubre with the flu. Oh, T-Wolves 14.5. This is nuts. You want to play? Suit up?
Which side would you want to take here?
The supporting cast then steps up. T-Wolves take them lightly.
Yeah.
God.
I'm not, look, now money down to 13.5. I could not lay, I looked at this because I was like, Philadelphia, dead team.
Yeah.
I like to bet against them, but could not lay 14.5 earlier today with Minnesota.
Yeah.
Just could not get there. The Cavaliers are 22-8. Check that, 22-6 overall on the road this year. That's number 1 in the entire league. 22-6.
Yeah.
And they're
no cat. I like I got to take the Warriors. I got to. I hate this spot for the Knicks. I'm throwing out the back-to-back. I'm throwing it out. Warriors get it done. I don't like how the Knicks are playing anyways. Brunson had to be Superman down the stretch to win these last couple games.
I know. He's now a $3 favorite to win that clutch award.
Down 19 to Miami? Unacceptable. So, I think Golden State loving life now. 8-1 with Butler in there. Good.
Okay.
Good card.
All right. Also, we had this earlier today. The odds for the number 1 pick in the draft.
This is good.
The Giants are now, it's basically 105 along with the Titans. So think about the timeline here. Last weekend, not even, just like a couple days ago, same thing, I guess, but the Titans were minus 290 to make the first pick overall in the draft. Then we come on the show yesterday, it was below $2. It was like minus 175, and now today, minus 105. So this is moving for a reason, you would think, right? Are the Giants and Titans going to be close to a deal here? Well, the Giants are going to move up from number 3, and the Titans are going to come back to number 3. And then Cam Ward is now minus 250 to go first overall.
And 1,000 first quarterback selected.
And that was minus $7 yesterday?
It was smart. You forget that. It's a minus 150 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
How about that? Follow the money. Von Tobel and Humans coming up next. VSiN Primetime, cashing out Joe Serralo, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. and By the Book, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. All that coming up. Mike Palm tomorrow. Will Hill, another great NBA card. And college hoops, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
And there's probably be big news in the NBA, too, the way we're going.
I would imagine.
Kyrie out for the year, torn ACL.
Good run here for the Mavericks.
Oh, Zach Lowe nailed it. NBA apocalypse. The last month for a Mavs fan in that organization.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
he also said they basically have like a year and a half to win a title now.
That
Forget
too.
3 years. Maybe it's like a year and a half.
Well said.
Yeah. Good luck with your bets tonight. Stay tuned. Primetime next. As Paulie was saying, Von Tobel and Humans.